Good morning. Just hang on, let me let some light in here. Hang on. That's better. Try that again. Good morning. So I've just it's 10:30 in the morning, New York time, and I just this morning I've had and last night I've had a few people that want to Tony, we've seen what you do, we've seen what you do. I just can't afford to start. I'm waiting for Jeff to jump on here because Jeff must get this as well. So I'm going to read something to you I got. Where is it? So I get these all the time. People that want to start in business can't afford to start. Here's Jeff.
Hey there, buddy. How are you?
Fantastic. I was just stalling for time. Excuse my smart attire. I've been working naked off the bed for a couple of hours. I thought I'd better at least put a gym vest on. So I'm just what we do, Jeff, and I thank you for jumping on at short notice. This is something I feel will help a lot of people from both sides, people in business and people looking to get in business. What I received this morning, okay, you have my interest, I'd like to know more, straightforward plan, it shows me an absolute path to achieve 250,000 this year, because that was my intention. I put my intention out there, 250,000 this year. It's August now. That gives us, what month is it? 4 months, 250,000. And, that's not been done before. I don't believe in this business. However, the man that made 150,000 in just over a year, I talk to every day. I talk to Darren every day. And since then, as you know, Jeff, the monies have doubled. So I can't see any reason why, with double the money and talking with Darren every day and utilizing his knowledge put together with my experience, I can't see any possible reason why not that we can't be hitting that 250 this year. Then my next intention, I put it all out in one. My next intention next year is 5 million. I've never had a $5 million year before. I just haven't. I've had a few $1 million year before. I've never had a $5 million year before. Take out IPOs and things like that, as far as actual earnings go. So, I'm not doing any public offerings next year, not selling any businesses next year, I'm not doing anything like that, just straight earnings. Then the year after is 25 million. So this guy said to me, straightforward plan, shows me an absolute path to achieve 250K this year, 5 million next year, 25 million the year after that, from zero. But before that, he says to me, and I'm sure I'm going to ask you and bring you in on this one. He says to me, you have my interest, I'd like to know more, don't ask me to buy into some program, whatever that means, okay? Don't ask me to listen or watch a video to sell me some bull at the end. So here's the situation. Do you ever come across people that you show them everything, they appear like they want to go get into business with you, they see the benefits of what we do, not just income wise, but the benefits of how it can help their family, and they see all this and they just tell you they just can't afford it. Do you ever hear that?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. And I'll tell you something else. When I talk to people and I watch their Facebook pages, and not necessarily that work with us, but other people, and I see the way they use the language. I won't use the words, but very, very low-end street. And they had something they were marketing at $99. So everyone's got $99. And I said to this lady, I said, do you ever get people telling you they can't afford it? And she said, yeah, all the time. I said, I can tell that by your posts. And I said, here's the challenge. You're aiming at a low-end demographic by the content you're putting out, by calling women certain things, by referring to guys with a certain word. I said, that's your demographic. That's what you're putting out. So I'm not, I don't want to, I won't deal with people like that till they clean their act up. And that's not a snobbery thing. It's just, it reflects badly. Now, the other side of that is there are people that have just fallen on bad times. I was chatting with a great guy last night. He was I think Alaska in the crab fishing thing, but it's seasonal and it takes a while to get it. So you make a bunch of money quickly, and then before you know it, you spend it quickly, and the next boat's not in, or the weather's changed. That's one example. And there's lots. There's people working gym chains, and this time of the year, it's notoriously dead. If you're a trainer in a gym, it's notoriously dead. Things happen. Situations happen in life. So those people I do get, and I'm sure you do too, because we talk every day.
Yeah.
So I know you've had a few people where they said they're waiting for payday to jump on board. I understand that. I also understand that the situation is one of two things. Either one, they've seen something, they're not confident enough to say no, it's not for them. So instead of that, they tell you they can't afford it, or they'll think about it, or some other thing that just blurts out the mouth. And that stems from a confidence issue. A lot of people out there don't want to offend someone. They want to please people. You see it all the time. If you know how to not monitor, how to feel, not just face to face. That's obviously a lot easier. You can read micro expressions and pupil reaction and physiology, body language. You can read that, and you know when someone's covering up or when someone's playing lying. Sometimes online you can do it by the tone of the text, but instead of saying no, they say, I want to think about it, or let me talk to the guy at the corner store, like he knows anything. Oh, my friend's got a business, he knows everything about business. What does your friend do? He shines shoes. I mean, what? Unless someone's been in these businesses, or this particular business we're in, and this, by the way, is not a business pitch, because we don't do that. It's not a sales pitch. It's just, how can we help those people that are in that situation? My inbox. Can you hear my thing keep bleeping? Can you hear that, Jeff?
It's either mine or it's yours. It's one of the other.
It's mine. It's going nuts here. It's like 2 and 3 inboxes a minute.
It's been a busy morning. Let's just kind of leave it at that.
It's been nuts this morning. I've yeah. Never mind. Listen, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. So I get these messages, and I meet these great people, and they really are in a hard place. So the challenge is, forget the ones who don't have the confidence to say no. That's a whole different thing for a whole different video. We'll do it at some point. These are the ones that are absolutely, genuinely in a jam. But here's the reality. That jam is often self-induced, and this goes back to, we made a wonderful video yesterday, but I forgot to press record, or whatever it is. I'm just wondering if I've done it now. It just says, it looks like it's recording. It's a red thing.
See, yesterday it said off air. Yours said off air, and I kept looking at that and wondering. This one says live.
Okay, so we're good.
I'm hoping that's the difference.
Nice shirt.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you've done it before too. We'll just
I've got it. Doesn't matter. It's all good. That was a time. That was a time. That was a place, and that was a learning curve, and it worked. And it was good business. Yeah. Anyway, we digress. So here's the challenge for people that tell me they can't afford it, or tell you, or tell anyone they can't afford it. And it doesn't matter what the figure is. There's people that say they can't afford $99. There's people that say they can't afford $5,000. Some of these businesses to get in $5,000. Someone tells me they can't afford $5,000. I mean, I don't operate at that level. If someone tells me they don't have $5,000, you know what? I may be inclined to believe them. If they're working a day-to-day job, they might not have. Excuse me, I got this itchy nose every time I get on this. They might not have a line of credit for that. They might not have that on their credit card. They might not have that savings in the bank. But when you're down into 100 or the low hundreds, we can pull it together. But it's not stemming from them not having the money. It's stemming from the worthiness. It's the same thing when you try and give things to people. I remember my late father, and I know I revert to him a lot, but I was in another business. Oh, what year was this? It was in the 90s, and I did a video the other day about how I went from flat broke to $29,739 per week in just 8 weeks, and I did that video the other day. But at that time, I flew back, not straight away, but a few months later. I'd send my father clothes, and he was in the clothing business. But I lived in a penthouse suite in the Sheraton Hotel in Hamilton, Ontario, and below it was a shopping mall. And my buddy Paul used to have this great store. And when I got bored, I'd go shopping. This is why I have this hatred of shopping and materialistic stuff now. Because whenever I got bored, I'd go downstairs and just go shop. And I used to buy things from my dad and send them over, sweaters and shirts and stuff like that. He had his own business, wasn't a wealthy man. His business replaced his job. It was a manufacturing, 40 people on sewing machines and designing clothes and this and that. And in all fairness to him, wasn't a great businessman. And what I did, I sent this stuff over then. I think it was around about Christmas that year. It was around about Christmas that year. Oh no, I'll tell you what it was. It was his 65th birthday. On his 65th birthday, no, it was Christmas. Sorry, it was Christmas. On the Christmas that year, I flew back, and hang on, I'm getting this mixed up. No, I was back living there then, and I had a black Bentley Turbo. So we set up a business in Canada. We opened up again in England. I'm going all over the map here, but there's relevance to it. In England, did the same thing, 0 to a Bentley Turbo in 8 weeks, and paid for, not financed, paid for. Because at the time, the guy I did a video about yesterday, Mark, who's the self-made billionaire with a private jet, had a Bentley Turbo, and I thought, I want to be like Mark. Mark's the guy that smokes the big Cuban cigars in his office and pays $50 fine every time someone walks in, just gives them $50 for the fine. Mark's a guy, self-made billionaire, and I thought, I want to be like Mark, because he was a cool guy. So I bought the same car as Mark, and this is role-playing life. So I bought the same car as Mark, even though I'm in a different country. I'm based in London. I go back up there for sort of Christmas time or something like that. And I bought my father and my stepmother, because my father remarried when I was older, and my stepmother, I bought them both a gold, and we were talking about this yesterday, gold Rolex. And just because he'd never had anything like that. He had a watch, but he never stuff like that. He wasn't that sort of guy. But he always wore a watch. So I bought them both a gold Rolex, and I got up there, and I took them out for dinner. They got in the Bentley, and went to see another friend of mine in Manchester that also had Rolls Royce or something. So we go to his house, we go have a bit to eat there and play with his grandkids and just have a good time, and then take him out to a restaurant and we have a good time. And I can't remember who was with me, but I think I had a girlfriend with me at the time. And after the meal, I said, I've got something for you, and I gave them both the cases with the watch. And you know what they did, Jeff? Guess what they did?
What did he do?
Guess.
Showed it.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, we're going there anyway. He gave me back. He gave me back and said I can't accept it.
Right. I remember that from yesterday.
This is worthiness. And in the end, he took it. I'll tell you right now. I think that was, apart from his funeral, I think that was the last time I cried so much. I gave him this thing. I saw the look, and we were talking about that feel yesterday, and that vibration, and literally had to run to a bathroom and pour tears out. I just choked up. And I don't get like that, and I just did. I can't accept it. So what my father, now that I know, what my father was telling me was what he's been telling himself all these years. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worthy of great abundance. We spoke yesterday about my wealthy uncle that had the Rolls Royce. We never did. I'm not worthy of this. My father never had a brand new car in his life. Lived in suburbia. Even though he had his own business, and looking at it now, that should have been something huge. He just He didn't grow up around people like that. He didn't really socialize much. So we talk about the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. Well, I was one of them. My grandparents were 2 of them. His business partner was another, and that was pretty much it. So he wasn't associating. He wasn't raising his game. And this is not knocking him, because I didn't know about this then, and he didn't, and most people don't. We're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So he didn't realize, I didn't realize that, to raise our game, we've got to change our circle of 5. And because of that, and having a lifetime, and at this point he was 65 years old, having a lifetime of being not in abundance, because someone's not getting abundance and they don't feel worthy, or maybe the way they've grown up in terms of they've grown up poor, so they think that's normal, and they can't see outside of that. There's families in parts of the world, 2nd and 3rd generation, that have never worked. They grow up on welfare, so then that's what they sit around with, and sit around at home watching daytime TV, surrounded by people that have never worked, never earned, never done anything. Do you think they feel abundant? Not at all. Do you think they feel worthy? I mean, you know what? Maybe they feel worthy of the welfare, but that's not knocking people on welfare. That's knocking these people that just they bring the kids up to think it's normal to sit around and just get money from the government all day. It's not. It's not. We've got to contribute in life. So this worthiness thing, this abundance things. So on my wall, I have proclamations. I'm not showing you all of them, but I'll read them right now.
You can turn your computer screen a little bit so I can see them.
No, I'm not showing you what else is in my room. I'm not tidied up.
Wait a second. Let me put a backdrop behind mine now.
Okay, you know what? No, I know yours is a mess. Let's have a look here.
I appreciate that.
Can we see them?
I can see them, yeah.
Yeah. So proclamations.
Oh, I love them.
Every morning. I am a leader. Yeah. I am successful. I am worthy. I am creative. I'm glowing. I am abundance. I am flowing. I am giving. I am amazing, and I am connected. Those 2-3 times a day. 2-3 times a day. Oh, next to it, there's the $10 million. Yep, $10 million apartment. Just to keep things in perspective. So it's not something we wake up and go, I am worthy. I am abundance. It's a proclamation. And what happens with that, these proclamations, is I utilize them 2 or 3 times a day, minimum. And at some point, the first day, they just get read out flat. And then the second day, a little bit more. And the third day, the voice starts to get into them. By the 5th, 6th, 7th day, you actually feel a shift, a vibration, a tweak when you're telling yourself, I am worthy. You tell yourself this stuff, it goes into the subconscious. Your subconscious programs the way you think. If that is the size of your conscious brain, Manhattan is the size of your subconscious. So everything that goes in that subconscious, if someone's watching daytime TV or the news every day or reading newspapers, it's going there. It affects the way they speak, the way they stand, the way they act. It makes them negative because they're just getting the wrong stuff in there. So how do we make ourselves worthy? We have to literally kickstart our brain by proclaiming certain things. Those are just mine. I mean, someone can copy them if they want. Doesn't matter. Or we make our own up. But it's done in the present, the I am. So first of all, when someone says, yeah, I want to make 100,000 a year, I want to make, how do I do it? We've got to understand that they need to find for themselves that if they've only ever earned $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, it's not just a switch and you make that. There's guilt riddled with it with some people. Some people feel guilty about making money. As insane as that is, some people feel guilty about it, and sometimes they're the ones that buy all the materialistic stuff because literally it gets in their hands and they've got to give it away. Give it away. Oh, it's dirty. Give it away. Oh, I went out last week. I made $5,000. Get rid of it. Go buy some garbage. and they're not worthy. And yeah, you can make that sort of money almost by default, but to be worthy, you see this a lot with sports stars. Grow up in poverty, they get it doesn't matter what sport, they get a professional contract, and all of a sudden they've got a Bentley and a mansion and the bling and the whole thing, and it's as though they're not worthy. They can't wait to get rid of the money. So that's the first thing. We've got to accept that if someone is broke, that it's just a total shift, and it's more than the mind, it's deeper than the mind, it comes from deep down here. We've got to actually believe, we've got to feel it, not think it, we've got to feel it. We've got to feel we are worthy. We've got to feel that abundance is coming to us. There's trillions of dollars out there every day, there's billions, tens, hundreds of billions traded, moving, changing hands every day. Where's my abundance? Where's my bit? Well, you know what? We have to put it out there to gain that abundance. The reflection we give off, if we're given a reflection of poverty or unworthiness, we're never going to get that abundance coming in. So it stems from there. Now, the next thing is people's self-talk. So number one, we have to feel worthy, and we need to feel abundance. And that's just it's simple. Write them down on the wall. You know, write them down on the wall. And I know this. I don't know. I know there's a few people watching it right now. I don't know how many times this will get shared and replayed and everything. And it's just simple. I know Darren said the other day, if you told someone they had to drink 6 glasses of water a day for a year to make $100,000, 99% of people wouldn't drink 6 glasses of water every year. So it stems from the same thing. They don't think they're going to get it. And we spoke yesterday about blocks. You know, I had a 22, 23. I thought it was impossible to make more than $1,000 a week. Whatever you did, I couldn't. It was a block. And then, you know, a year later, I had the block at 100,000 a year. No one makes more than 100,000 a year. And then 5 years later, I had a block at 2 million a year. It's impossible. I was in a city of poverty. It's impossible to make that sort of money. I had a block. And we all have a block, you know. I've got a block. My block, I don't know what the figure is. But if I put down on the wall and try and program my subconscious that I'm going to go out and make $1 trillion next year, it's not going to work. There's going to be a blocker in there somewhere. I can't conceive that. I just can't conceive it. So, you know, I don't know anyone that's made $1 trillion a year. So how am I going to pioneer that? I really don't know. I don't have a plan for that. So that's the worthiness. The self-talk is the next. So people's self-talk, some people tell themselves constantly that they're broke, that they have no money. I'd love to do this, but, and that's the word, the self-sabotage, but I don't have the money. I'd love to lose weight, but healthy food's too expensive. You know what? It's not. It's the same. I'd love to go to the gym, but I don't have time. I'd love to get earn more money, but I don't have a master's degree. It's BS. It's nonsense. It's self-sabotage. So the self-sabotage, two things. The easy shift for someone to do today, right now, and this is not directed at you, Jeff, but I want to bounce this backwards and forwards off you. The easy shift for someone to do right now today is just consciously, mindfully change that word from but to however.
Right.
I want to get started in business. However, I don't have the funds, which leads on to, okay, let's see what we can do. Mm-hmm. But it's that self-talk. So, you know, as people, you know, I never, ever, ever get sick, ever. Ever, ever. You know, I can go out in the middle of winter in flip-flops and shorts and a t-shirt, and apart from this last winter, because it was cold, apart from this last winter, the previous 2 winters in New York, I went through in a t-shirt and shorts. Like, I never get sick. I could be sat in a room full of people sneezing all over me. You know, I've been in saunas and steam rooms like that, sneezing and coughing, everything. I never get sick.
The person in the room next to you has Ebola, by the way, so just so you know.
Say again?
I said the person in the room next to you has the Ebola virus, so
Doesn't matter. I don't get sick.
I don't get sick either. I'm the same way.
Doesn't matter. I don't get sick. I don't get sick. You know, I never get sick.
I get the sniffles, I just blow it off, and it goes away. Seriously, that's what happens.
You know, let me tell you. There's some mornings I'll wake up with a sore throat. There's some mornings I'll wake up congested, but I don't get sick, and it just vanishes. Yeah. By the time I'm out of the shower, it's gone. However, there's other people with their self-talk that constantly tell themselves they think they've got something coming on. I think a cold is coming on. Oh yeah, tell yourself that 10 times. You will have it. I think I'm getting the flu. Okay. Look in the mirror and repeat it 100 times. I guarantee you, you'll sneeze before you finish. So that self-talk is so dangerous. So the self-talk is like the proclamation, but sometimes people don't realize they're doing it. I'm broke. I'd do it right now. I can't afford it. Instead of making statements, what people could actually do, and again, it's a shift. You know, right now I'm having a hard time. How can I afford this? Because I'll tell you something right now, and this is no secret. It's out there. I got hit financially, as you know, on my birthday. I got hacked, and I woke up the next morning with a couple of $100 cash. All my plastic had gone.
Yeah.
And I had to build a business from zero. I just literally got everything wiped out and shut down. So a lot of the businesses were online. The hacker basically closed the business down. So I had to start. And when I looked at this business, and I spoke with Darren, then it wasn't as great a deal back then. We actually ended up paying more, but that's fine. We get, it doesn't matter. We get lots for it, and it's self-financing. But the buy-in was $154. To get started in business was $154.
Mm-hmm.
I had $200 in my pocket.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So I didn't have any plastic, and we needed plastic to do it. So I spoke with someone this morning. Says, I had to shut my bank account down. I've had other people say, "Can I use your plastic?" No, you can't use my plastic. Go and get a prepay. That's what I did. I went to the pharmacy, the CVS or whatever it was. I put $154 on a prepaid card. There was some fee, like $2 or something. I really was watching my pennies. And I joined the business. Yeah. So I was left with about $40. But also what I had, I have a skill set, so I can earn money. But everyone's got a skill set. I knew on $40 I could still eat for a few days. Mm-hmm. If you're at that, you can go wash someone's car, you can go shovel snow, you can go brush someone's drive. There's always some, can I walk your dog? There's always a way to create some cash flow. But it's just simple cash flow. So what I did, I became creative. When I got broke, I became really creative. So I instruct my Krav Maga thing, and on an hourly rate, I'm hugely expensive. Yeah. $3.80 an hour. For those that can afford that. But what I do is I do a 3-hour package for $200. And this was the day after my birthday. What I came up with is I had a load of T-shirts from the business, and I had a load of connections. So I thought, how can I get some cash coming in? What I did was I sent an email out to, I've got a Gmail group of anyone that showed any interest. You know the program you're thinking about that's $200? I'm going to do it for you free. But you're going to have to buy a T-shirt that's $20. And like that day, 2 days later, I had my bigger class. Even though, not a huge class, but even though I just did a one-off, and instead of doing a discount, I just said it's a give back, which it was. I wanted to do something for my birthday as a give back anyway. And there's people out there that can't afford me, I get that, but they need what I offer. So I created some cash flow. So when people tell me they're broke, when I got in this business, I was down to my last $40. It didn't matter. You know what I did? I went proactive, and you know this straight away. I invested $154. Within, I think it was 30 or 36 hours, I'd earned about $400.
Yeah, who was the first person you hosted, by the way?
I'm pretty sure it was you.
Yes.
Okay. It's all right. Subliminal plug from Jeffrey Yogi Cook there. Thanks, Cheech. That's good.
Tell me, the guy that if you tell me we need to do this together, I'm going to say, okay, what lake do I need to jump into?
Yeah, and that literally was it. That literally was it. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't wait for everything to be perfect. I just, made a call or whatever I did to 10 connected people, and 4 of them jumped straight in the business.
Yep.
And yeah, there was a pay cycle of 2 weeks for it to actually come through. So in those 2 weeks, I juggled between instructing, but I just made sure I had enough cash coming through just to keep me going over till the flow started with this. Now, the irony is, most people that tell me they're broke have jobs anyway. They've got money coming in. I didn't. I had to create that.
Right.
So the difference was purely back to what we started with. The worthiness, it doesn't matter to me. I treat it like a game of Monopoly. Wow, I've got $200. I'm 50 years old. Wake up to my 50th birthday one day afterwards. I've got $200. Great. I get to play the game of life again. It's like Monopoly. I get another 50 years to play. Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
Yep.
And that's what I did. We're in. Doing it. Good. And we are doing it. And it's going great. And, 2 months in or whatever. And it's purely from here. So just because you don't have some money, or just because you're in a bit of a jam, doesn't mean someone needs to tell themselves they're broke. Because there's people I know that will tell you that things are tight, they're down to the last 5 million, and there's people that think they're wealthy with 1,000 in the bank, and everything in between. It's a perception. 5 million. How can someone be broke with 5 million? Well, you know what? If they had 20 billion and they've got 5 million, they're broke. I think I read something earlier this year about the Queen of England. Because of her expenses. If you've got 20 billion and you're living that life and you've got these expenses and you've got down to 5 million, it's not going to last you a month. So it's just a number, it's just a perception. But the worthiness and the abundance is out there. And I think I mentioned this the other week. I went to the Toronto Car Show when I lived up there, maybe 20 years ago. And my friend John, I can't remember his last name, had the Lamborghini concession. And I got in a VIP thing there, and I'm looking around at the cars. He said, "Don't touch that one. It was a purple one. I can't remember the model, top of the range thing. A purple one." He said, "Don't do me a favor. Don't sit in that one. Trump's just bought it." I said, "Trump? Donald?" I said, "Yeah." "I thought he owes like 300 million or something." He said, "Yeah, he does." "And he's just got a brand new Lamborghini for 300,000. "Yeah." "How's he done that?" He said, "When you owe the bank 300 million, the bank will do what they want to keep you happy. However, if you've made that sort of money, even the banks understand if you're at that situation, you're self-made and that, you'll get it back. It's a peak, then a crash and a valley, then another peak. So the bank is best keeping on your side because they know you'll get it back. Because we have that worthiness feel. We have that abundance flow. The little blips in life are just temporary. However, crap happens to everyone in life. Everyone. What happens to his life makes no difference whatsoever. It's only how we deal with it that counts. So if we get a financial hit, or a loved one leaves us, or someone passes away, or our pet gets hit by a car, or all the bad stuff that can happen, or we get laid off. When we have a certain feel coming in, when we feel worthy, it doesn't matter. It's just a passing. When we feel loved, we take from that. I'm not going to go into this story, it's a whole different one. So when people tell me I can't afford it, they're trying to convince themselves, and it's based upon they don't feel worthy. So I got in this business. I'm dressed like this for a reason. Some people will have their lack of worthiness will show in their physiology. It will show in their dress sense. There's one guy, this guy, I've got to tell you this story. So, Tony, I want to get into business with you today. He's one of these geniuses that I put up now and again. It goes on and on. And then he tells me, I show him what it is, and he said he can't afford it. And I said, okay, I already found out the guy, is a rapper and he makes music. And I said, well, why am I not seeing your videos every day on there? I don't have enough content. I said, just, do it on the fly, make it up as you go. We got to memorize it. No, it doesn't have to. I put videos out there all day. I just do it on the fly. Doing this on the fly. No plan, no script, no nothing. And this guy does this, and I show him it, and he tells me he can't afford it. And then he persists in telling me all over Facebook why I'm doing everything wrong. And I made a comment. I said, aren't you the guy that told me you can't afford it, and you're giving financial advice to others on why this won't work? Let me get that straight. He said, well, I could afford it. I just didn't want it. I don't trust you. I said, okay, that's fair enough. You know what? If I had your mindset, I wouldn't trust me either, because I wouldn't trust anyone looking at your mindset, because you're not coming from that place of trust. So whatever's happening in your circle of 5, you've either been given a reason not to trust people, or you're hanging around with people who are telling you, don't trust anyone. So that's it. And I said, fine. Doesn't matter. It doesn't only change my life if you jump in business or not. And then every now and again he pops up. So I've not blocked him. Because, hopefully with a guy like this, he'll get the wake up and join us and get the wake up and do it. It doesn't make an ounce of difference to my life, your life, at all. It only makes a difference to his life. That's it. And his friend's life, I should say. So this guy the other day, when I posted, about the videos, putting how I went from flat broke to $29,739 per week in just 8 weeks, his comment was, that's BS, it can't be done. And, I just went, why can't it be done? Well, it just can't. No one earns that much money. And I knew he's in the music business, so I said, do you think Jay-Z earns that money? Well, Jay-Z does, but he knows billions of people. You don't even know millions. Well, there's 2 things here. Jay-Z doesn't know billions of people. I don't know millions, but I probably know as many as Jay-Z. But his perception was the only way you can make that sort of money is if you're a superstar musician or a whatever, a professional sports person, which in the reality of it, of the people making, big money's sort of 7 figures a year. 8 figures a year rather. 7 figures a year is not big money. It's good money, but it's not big. 8 figures a year. The smallest minority of them are professional sports people, musicians, and actors. That's the tiniest minority. The biggest majority is entrepreneurs. So he had this mindset, and he's going on and on about, why it can't be done, why it can't be done. And I just somehow saw something on the stream yesterday. So his post for yesterday was a spliff, was a joint. Which is fine, if you want to smoke it, smoke it. I don't care. It's not for me. But, if you want to do it. But when you're telling me that you don't need to change your circle of 5, the 5 people you spend the most time with are helping you, and you don't believe you can do this stuff, and then you put a picture of yourself holding a spliff proudly, like that's your achievement for the day. If that's the best thing you've done for a day is build a great joint, dude, seriously, man. There's something you're not worthy about. There's something that not feeling. There's no abundance coming. There's no worthiness. And, certain people, I go like, I'll shift him to the side. I don't like blocking people because, I hope that messages get out there and through constant repetition and absorption, people, it will help someone somewhere. But someone that's in a hard time, in a temporary position, in a situation, let's look at how we can help them. So, right now, I'm talking to you here on this Mac. If it was the only thing I had, and I needed to raise a few $100s, but I needed my Mac to work. So what could I do? I already know the answer to this. If I needed $200, $300, $400 to get myself back on track, and the only thing I had was what I'm on now, on this Mac, instead of thinking how I can't afford it, I would think, you know what, I can get $500 for this Mac, and there's a 24-hour Apple store down the road. There's Apple stores all over. I can go hang out in Apple stores. And when they ask me to leave, I'll walk to the next Apple store. So I'm not letting a little excuse that I don't have any money stop me going forward. And a lot of the time, I pretty much guarantee you that anyone that tells me they can't afford it. I pretty much guarantee you I could look around their home and find something that they're not using that they could sell.
Right.
And start a business.
Yes.
Or something they don't want to sell, but it's just stuff. You just replace it. You know, I took a hit one day in the UK. It was a huge thing. It was something like 9.4 million. It was a business deal, and I got hung out to dry on it, and it wiped me out. However, while I was building that business, I'd learned before, always keep something, not necessarily just money in the bank, but always buy a little bit of stuff you can liquidate if you need to. So over that period of time, I got back into my motorcycles. I just got a brand new house that was, you know, back then I thought it was ridiculous. People thought it was ridiculous money, but I'd lived, and this is perception, I'd lived in London in an £800,000 townhouse, 4-bedroom townhouse on the Regent Canal. This is all from zero, by the way, within 8 months. Then my son was born, and I didn't want him to grow up in London because of, you know, pollution and this, that, and the other. So we zigzagged up the country trying to find somewhere to live, and found this place called Prestbury in Cheshire. So the London house, 4-bedroom townhouse, £800,000, so 1,500 US probably back then, and I'm going back 16 years. I drove 2 hours north into the beautiful South Cheshire, what they call a stockbroker belt. It's where the professional sports people live, the big ones. And I found this house on a 2-acre lot, 6-bedroom detached home, 24-car driveway, the whole bit, and it was £250,000. So about a third of the other one. People who lived up there told me I was nuts for spending so much on a house, but I've been living in London with a different perception of numbers, and it's just numbers, and numbers are a man-made thing. They're not. It's not natural. It's something created. But then we create barriers with those numbers, but there's no barrier. We don't have to create a barrier. It's just a number. It's just something some guy made up. I think it was the Greeks, I think, maybe, I don't know. And it's a number, but we put these barriers of numbers of what's expensive, what's not. I put a post up yesterday about why do you never see Rolex or Bentley advertised on TV? And a whole stream went down of it. The two people on it said wealthy people don't watch TV. I don't know, 20 people on it argued that wealthy people did watch TV and Bentley and Rolex sponsor certain sports events. Here's the irony. The only two people that said wealthy people don't watch TV had both earned multiple millions in a year. The rest hadn't. So broke people think wealthy people are like them. There's not. There's a shift. We're not wasting our time in front of TV. We've been proactive. And even when wealthy people lose it all, they get proactive. You just go straight back at it. Straight back at it. There's no time for a pity party. I'm not going to go to the corner store and ask the guy behind the counter, what should I do? We've got enough abundance flowing in from the world, the universe, whatever, call it what you want. We're worthy enough that we had all that stuff, we'll just get it again. So it's just a number, it's just stuff. So what happens is sometimes people hang on to stuff and are afraid to sell it because they've got in that comfort zone and they're holding on to it. So what I did on this trip, I was on a train back from London to Cheshire. The guy, I went to get a beer on the train. The guy cut my American Express Platinum up right in front of me. Couldn't understand it. Called and found out I'd been hung out to dry and lost everything. What I'd done though over that year, I bought 26 Ducati motorcycles as I was making money. One came for sale, I'd buy it. I had a collection, maybe 12 old Kawasaki's. I used to go to an auction once a week. I loved rummaging around these auctions, and I'd buy bevel-edged mirrors and bits and pieces and just stuff. So I had this huge garage that was full of stuff. Now this was really before I understood the internet. You know what I did the next day? It was on the London Road, Prestbury. I remember this. 6 o'clock in the morning. Actually, no, there's something I did before this. The day it happened, I got my big TV, I got my stereo, and what else was it? You know, back then it was a video or CD player. But all the electronic stuff, I took to one of these places that buy used things, and I got, I don't know, 30% what I paid for it. But I liquidated it. So I had some cash. I had, you know, 1,000 in my pocket. I wasn't worried. We could eat. You know, brand new baby, you know, had to eat. The next day, I got all my motorcycles, pushed them out. I had a grass verge on the side of this road, and it was kind of like a major tributary. But so I pushed all these motorcycles out, put all these bevel edge mirrors out, classic cars, just parked them all over my driveway. I bought some, what do you call it? Day fluorescent card. And I just put garage sale, everything has to go today, big letters. Stuck them both on both ends and sat outside there all day. Everything didn't go that day. But, you know, if someone asked me something, how much is that? Well, you know, I paid $5,000 for it. I'm open to offers. I didn't tell them I'd been hit. I'm open to offers. We've got to move. We don't have room for it, and I should have done this last week. So what are you offering? If someone said something stupid, I'd tell them to go away. But I paid $5,000. I'd take 2.5. I'd take a hit on it because at that time I needed cash coming back in. So we cleared the lot out, and I don't know what, it doesn't matter what I put, you know, it was a lot of money, but it was enough for me to get up and go again and start another traditional business again, literally within a day. Mm-hmm. You know, I could go and rent an office, go get some furniture, put the phone lines in, good to go. Now, I guarantee you that anyone watching this, when they get the worthiness, when they feel worthy, when they feel the abundance, by doing a proclamation every day, they can find something that they can raise money with. So I've seen this happen in other things for thousands of dollars. But if someone's looking at something, and you know, this is all stemming from me saying, you know, we're going to go from August to the end of the year and pull $100,000 in from zero. Not me. Okay, my target's 250. That's my proclamation. That's my intention. But if you've never earned $100,000 a year, there's no point you telling yourself you're going to earn $250,000 in 4 months because you won't be able to trick start your brain that much. It just won't happen. So last night I had a great call with this guy, and the guy on the Alaska fishing thing, and he was saying about, you know, he told me, I think it was something like, let me get this right, $32,000 in 62 days or 64 days. So I said, oh, so you made $15,000 a month. He said, yeah, but I only did for 2 months of the year. I said, but you've made $15,000 a month. Yeah, for 2 months of the year. Okay, let's just go back over this. You are worth $15,000 a month. Have I got that correct? I said, well, if I'm a fisherman. Okay. So are you worth that to do anything else? And he went, yeah, of course I am. I'm worth $15,000 a month. Ah, there's the step. So it's just simply triggering that switch in there. So he feels worthy of $15,000 a month. He feels there's $15,000 a month abundance out there. He's a guy in a hard time right now, but I absolutely know this guy is a proactive thinker. After chatting with him for half an hour last night, he's a proactive thinker. He'll find a way. He'll find a way. He told me he's had to move back in with his parents. He's sleeping on the couch. I'm not going to name him. And you know what? I've slept on couches before when I've had to. So what? So what? Doesn't matter. You know, when you're rebuilding, it doesn't make sense to start spending money. And I've seen this before. I think this guy worked with me in Manchester. He worked with Mike Melvin. I think he was one of Mike Melvin's team. And this guy came in with holes in his shoes, and this young Asian kid, can't remember his name, he was about 18 years old, holes in his shoes. Within 2 weeks in the other business, he's pulling a couple of $1,000s a week. His mum came to the office because his mum thought he was actually dealing drugs. She couldn't grasp it because no one in the family made that much money. They didn't feel the abundance, the worthiness. She came to the office to check out we were a legitimate business. He's showing up in his Versace and spending, like, if he's earning $2,000 a week, $2,000 a week, he's spending $1,800 on clothes. No, that is I am not worthy of this. I've got to get rid of it. And I have a mental block that $2,000 a week is a lot of money. It's not. It's not. I could walk down the street and spend it in 5 minutes and have nothing to show for it. I could spend it in a restaurant. It's nothing. So my point is here, going back to the beginning, we have to get that worthiness. We have to get that abundance. We have to attract that. And we won't attract it till we feel worthy of receiving the abundance. And if we're not, we can proclaim to ourselves and kickstart our subconscious mind till our conscious believes it, and then we will start talking and acting and sounding and standing and projecting a totally different individual. At that point, our vibration that we give off will change. And those people who are not on that vibration level will get out your life. And you will attract new people who operate on that level. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you need to get out that room and go into a bigger one. Because we are restricted by what surrounds us. If we're doing these proclamations every day, I am worthy, I am a leader, I am a giver, I am giving, but you've got someone in your ear telling you otherwise, and the TV's always on CNN, and there's newspapers all over the house, and you know they're talking plague, pestilence, economic doom, green men from Mars, who knows what crap they put in those things. I don't read them. You know, so okay, I'm feeling abundant, and you look at a newspaper and it says the economy's turned to crap. It's class, it's pushing against each other, it really won't work. So sometimes we just have to distance ourselves from certain things. So the first thing I did when the crap hit the fan was get rid of my TV. Because that's the last thing I needed. And if you are trying to get ahead in this life, honestly, you can buy another TV with $100,000 that you made by the end of the year. You can definitely get a TV. And it's probably better than the one you got now. As someone showed me something yesterday, that they were selling their 62-inch TV for a 78-inch TV. Okay, fine. If that's your shtick, if that's your kick, the TV, fine, do it. I mean, it's not for me, but that's not me. Okay, but you know, so it's just a TV. We don't need it. It's an item. It's a luxury item. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury item. So we can look around at luxury items that we're not using. You might have a pair of skis there. You might have a bike and falls coming. Well, you know what? I don't use the bike. I'll sell the bike. You may have a closet full of clothes with designer labels on. You know what? Sell them. I gave all mine to charity years ago because it was a giant pain in the butt. They're just like, every time I move, I've got to shift 50 suits and this and that. I gave about $100,000 worth of clothes to charity and kept 2 suits, which I lost in Hurricane Sandy, so I'm never wearing a suit again. So my point, guys, is this. It's what we got to feel, not think. We got to feel that abundance. So if you get on your proclamations and write some proclamations down, you're not sure how to do this, and not sure how to go about this, there's a fantastic webinar like this on darrenlittle.com/unleash the alpha.
Right.
And it's a breakdown of how to do it. And it's, you know, it's a little off the wall. You might not get it.
It's fantastic.
The successful people in life operate at a higher consciousness level, a higher vibration level. And to do that, we have to trigger certain things. We're not going to get to that level if we keep in our general surroundings. But what you find when you get to that level, you attract other people like that. So that's a great thing to watch. darrenlittle.com/unleash the alpha.
Right.
To start. So I'm going to get this wrapped any second now. So my point is this. Why am I sat like this? Why have I got a gym vest on?
Because you, sir, are your own boss. You wear exactly what you want. You have no limitations. And you know what? You care what people think, but you really don't care what you think because you are who you are.
Yeah, there's that, Jeff. I'll tell you something else.
What's that?
I'll tell you something else. I see lots of broke people covered in tattoos.
Oh, yeah. You're covered in tattoos, but you're not broke.
Yeah, I got that one when I was in Vietnam.
Okay.
And I got that one when I was in Canada.
See, I got this one. Oh, wait, I don't have one.
I got that one when I was traveling. I dropped out. I'd retired. It was no big deal to get a tattoo. I got that one. The week after I made $29,739. So It didn't matter the couple $100 it costs. So if you're thinking of getting a tattoo, get a tattoo. Yeah. But get it when you put it off. Get it when you've got a couple $100,000 in the bank. Get as many as you want. I don't care. But, we're just like, what are you going to invest in? Are you going to invest in yourself? Are you going to invest in your appearance? I honestly believe that some people spend more on their hair than they do on their food. On their appearance. So who are you trying to impress?
Well,
the vibration is wrong. It's not working. You look like someone broke that's trying to impress people. It's not. You know what? Find something now. If you're thinking about getting started, not necessarily with me or with Jeff, but with anything. If you've seen something you want to start it, start with the abundance flow. Start with a proclamation. I am. It could be I am slim. It could be I am healthy. It could be, I am a great wife. I am a wonderful husband. It could be anything. It's got to come from you.
I'm a magnet.
Yeah, I am a magnet.
And that's what I say to myself every morning. Every time I'll walk down the street, I'll sit there and say, I am a magnet. I'm a magnet. People want to be around me. People like me. People want to do business with me. I am a magnet. I say that to myself every day. Darren Little taught that to me over 30 days ago.
I'm seeing, Jeff, every day. I'm seeing loads of people doing business with you. I'm just sat watching, smiling at myself. Every day, Jeff has added this person to a group. Jeff has added this person to a group. Jeff's added this person to a group. Jeff's put another one in. And then I think, oh, maybe this is why he doesn't answer my calls. He's busy with other people. Fine, I don't care.
Who doesn't answer the calls? Excuse me, my phone's about to go dead. I'll have to call you back.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Now.
I got to tell you, Jeff, my phone goes dead at a rapid rate.
BS, I'm going to call it. Oh, yeah, right.
Let's see what we missed today.
Well, the one things that I saw that we missed was
I've been on here 78 calls, 7 texts. Sorry.
I've had some that you'll see a little bit later that has not been real friendly today, but that's okay because I'm dealing with them. It's okay. You're definitely the very best in what we give and what we receive. Yep. Accept only the best in what we give and what we receive. That's what we talked about yesterday. That was yesterday.
I'm going to redo that this week. Yesterday's was, I feel, one of the best calls I've ever made in my life, and I forgot to press record.
I know it.
But, you know what? The next one's going to be even better. Just think of that one. Someone said, oh, I'm sorry, that's bad news. No, it's not. That's right. Like when you were doing on Broadway, you don't just do one take. You practice it for a year. Well, I practiced it once, which means the next one will be perfect. So listen, I'm gonna wrap this. So guys, if you're watching this, trying to figure a way, look around your room, look around your home, get some proclamations going. If you're not sure how to do it, Skype, The Real Tony Cohen. I'm on most of you guys on my Facebook. Just inbox me if you're not sure how to do it. I'll help. I'm here to help. So from Manhattan. I keep looking outside. It's beautiful summer day. I'm sat in here chatting with you. So from Spanish Harlem in Manhattan, The Real Tony Cohen, we're having a wonderful one. Have a fantastic weekend, guys.
We're not done yet.
Are we not?
No. Coming attractions from Tony Cohen. Accept only the very best in what we give and what we receive.
We're doing this another day, this one, Jeff.
Coming attractions.
What?
Raise your limiting beliefs.
We're doing this another day, Jeff. This is another meeting.
Attraction. Hey, come on now. What do you do if you go to the movies? What do you see? You see previews, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a preview.
Oh, okay, I get it. Thanks for the preview.
Number 3.
All right, we're on it for this week. I'm getting messages all over. Listen, I've got to go.
I know.
Jeff, have a fantastic weekend. I got to go walk in the park or do some you know, one of those kinds of work thing. I might even answer my phone to you today. You never know. It might be a lucky day.
Text me when your phone's about to die, and I'll call you.
Yeah, that's the one. I should put that. I should put that on my voicemail message. My phone's about to die. I'll call you. So, guys, from the Real Tony Cohen in New York, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful one.